All right, let's talk about Brock Purdy leading the 49ers to a big win over the Dolphins. I'll be honest, hand up, when I saw Jimmy Garoppolo go down, I said, okay, Miami's winning this game. This might be tough for San Francisco's season, but not so fast, as he didn't just come in and run the offense. I thought he played well and did some nice things in a really difficult spot. You have to factor in the difficulty of a situation he got thrown into, not having a ton of first-team reps and not expecting to play. I mean, you see a lot of guys struggle in this situation. He came in and, he was ready. Let's talk about what I liked so much, and I actually want to start off a little bit different than just showing a play. We'll get to the plays in a second. I wanted to look back. What you see on the screen right now this is my notes from when I evaluated Purdy heading into this season. I wasn't a huge fan of his. I had him as my 12th overall quarterback. I honestly barely remember anything of that at this point, but I went back and looked at the notes. My evaluation of him at the time was he can run, which is a big plus, kind of Tim Tebow-like. I'm assuming that means in terms of how he runs. I don't know exactly what I meant by that, but my negatives for him were he does not have an NFL arm, will make some WTF throws, poor under pressure, and misses throws, especially down the field. So that's how I felt about him heading into this game, but honestly, I had no memory of this. I really didn't. So I kind of evaluated this game just simply based on evaluating him, and I thought he looked really good in this. Like, my notes feel very off from what I actually saw from this game. So, again, it's a different animal, the NFL and college, and sometimes guys play better in the NFL, and he looked better out there, I thought. Like, a play like this is just a great play from Purdy. I mean, there's a little bit of a nitpick. I guess I can kind of see I think that there is a bit of an issue of his game, but I also like certain aspects of his game as well. I think he makes good decisions. I just want to see him make his decisions quicker. That's my only real nitpick I have with his game, which isn't, again, guy making his first start, getting thrown out there. I mean, there's going to be issues with his game. I'm not trying to say it in a negative way. Just there are going to be issues. This is one I saw, but also a great play at the same time. It's Deebo Samuel going to get into a gap in coverage. Watch as this play begins. You see Samuel does get into this gap in coverage, and you got to get rid of the football quicker in the NFL. You just do. And this is an issue that literally every college quarterback has heading into the NFL. Like, their first game, they always take too long to throw the football. That's just like universal across the board. It's very rare that doesn't happen. Mike White didn't. Other than that, it seems like every quarterback who has ever played holds onto the ball a bit longer when they first start. You see how he kind of waits a beat there, which meant he had to make a perfect throw, but then he made the perfect throw. So it's like that's kind of what I feel like this game was in a lot of ways with Brock Purdy, is sometimes he made things more difficult on himself, but was still able to then make the more impressive play and make the more difficult play to still allow good things to happen. Like, this one's going to be another one of, this is a great example of, like, he could have had an easier play and didn't, and it ended up making a more impressive play where it's supposed to be just a pick play. That's his first read on this one, is that, trying to get it to, once again, Deebo Samuel here. Right when this play begins, he's going to kind of hesitate a little bit. Like, right now, you can make this throw, but you have to make it right now. Typically, there is a Miami player kind of covering the middle of the field, so if you don't make it right now, you're going to have to wait a solid few seconds and probably try to bide some time to have enough time to get the ball over to Deebo Samuel. Or you could just make it right now and you'd be fine. However, as you see, he does wait too long, but then is able to scramble out and eventually hit Deebo Samuel and make that throw later on. So it's like, you made things more difficult on yourself, and I think it's maybe optimistic if you are a San Francisco 49ers fan, the idea that, hey, when you're doing this kind of stuff, when you're, making things more difficult on yourself, there's room to improve, but even if you don't improve in these specific aspects, you can still be competitive now. So it's kind of both. It's you're doing well now, but also there are areas you can improve, which is good. That's the ideal scenario. But again, going over here, I don't want to act like literally every play he was waiting too long to throw. There were times when he got rid of the football quickly, which is kind of what you have to do in San Francisco, is get rid of the football quickly. And at times he did a very good job of it. This play is an example where the way it works is it's Christian McCaffrey's route that's going to be the one they want to throw to. The other two routes are just basically trying to get in the way of the two Miami players who are going to be covering in that area. Watch as you're going to see Purdy take the snap. He looks towards McCaffrey, who just turns his head, and you see how it's open. Again, there's some contact. You can maybe throw a flag on Kittle. I think he did a good enough job of turning his head around that I like the no call there, but you could have argued it for sure. But what I like about this from Purdy is that the ball was already halfway to McCaffrey now. He knew he had to get rid of the football quickly on this specific play. Again, part of that is the time constraint of you only had so much time. You don't have time to make something happen. You have to get rid of the football quickly, which I think helped him. He did make this throw, and they're able to get a touchdown right there. So again, that stuff, when he's getting rid of the football quickly, it looked awesome. And when he wasn't, it still looked pretty good. This play was a good example of, again, this was well-timed. So again, I'm not trying to say that all the plays were poorly timed. There was plenty of plays that were very well-timed. This is an example of it. It's going to be cover 3 zone. You have a receiver running over the middle. It's basically just, a San Francisco play. This is what you see them do a lot, is a lot of this stuff. And a lot of times you'll have them run a play action to get linebackers to move in. But you see with the way that Miami is set up, as though they're setting up as though they're blitzing, this now means that it kind of works as a play action automatically. You don't have to do the play action to make this play work, so don't bother. Purdy takes the snap. Purdy is going to wait a beat and then make the throw. And right here, it was perfectly in between the 2 Miami players that he was trying to throw to. So again, very well accurate and well timed in this scenario. When Purdy said, "This is the throw I'm making," he looked great. I mean, legitimately, he looked really good. And if this was Jimmy Garoppolo out there, you would have probably said, like, wow, Garoppolo played well in this game. Like, I mean, he looked really good, which was shocking given the fact that he was barely drafted and had no first-team reps. And, at the beginning of the season, probably didn't have that many second-team reps. Even over here, the interception that would happen with a little bit more than 5 minutes left in the second quarter was just not his fault. And in fact, this was, in my opinion, the correct play. It's cover 0 that Miami is running, and so Brandon Ayuk with a one-on-one matchup, granted, against Xavier Howard, but Howard has not had his best year this year. So, looking at a matchup that you like, I think, this is the correct decision by Purdy. Like, watch, right when the play begins, it's right here that he has to make his call. And don't get me wrong, it doesn't look like a great scenario right here. It doesn't, but at the same time, you don't get to wait that much longer. This is kind of all you have to wait right here. You kind of have to get rid of this football right now. If he holds onto the ball for any longer, he's going to get hit. Like, there's no option here. And those first couple plays, he had an option to hold on a little bit longer. There's no option here. You got to get rid of the football now. Watch as he does get rid of the football now, and it gets intercepted. Okay, fine. Still a good decision. If I'm a coach, I say, hey, good play. Now, again, something he'll probably notice on tape that'll make him feel bad is that McCaffrey ended up, no one covered him, so he would have been wide open had that happened. Also, a slight correction, I said it was cover 0. There was a safety deep, but still kind of same idea. You had to get rid of the football quickly to make that happen. And, he did, in my opinion, the correct thing on that play. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. Listen, am I willing to say he's the next Tom Brady yet? No, I'm not. I know that every time I feel like a late a quarterback that no one really thought of comes in and does well, immediately people get very excited. But you know what? Do I think that the 49ers still have a very real chance at making some noise here this season with Brock Purdy at quarterback? Right when I found out he was going to be the starter, my thought was no, but now I'm feeling like it's certainly possible. At least that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.